I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
With these snakes on this plane. I'm ready for it. Come on, bring it. I'm ready for it.
Snakes on the block. I suggest you grab your ankles and kiss your goodbye.
Rated R.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this time I'm talking about Snakes on a Plane. This is a PayPal request from Vontae McRae. Thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone who has done that. I really appreciate it, and also to the people who have sent me pledges on my Patreon. Again, I really appreciate that. If anyone's ever interested in doing any of that, you can, again, request directly via PayPal in the link down below, or you could be a part of my Patreon, which there's certain tiers and then you can get certain things. But the review for today is Snakes on a Plane. Now, Snakes on a Plane, I saw in the theater back in the day, and I enjoyed it in the theater. And watching it again, I still enjoy the film. I think it's a fun, entertaining B-movie that, granted, the effects of the snakes, the CGI snakes, they were not really that good back then. Even less so nowadays. I do wish they had attempted to try more practical. That even if you can't do all real snakes because the danger and also to not hurt actual snakes, at least go for animatronics, even puppetry, which I know that would supposedly deem it too hokey. But if you're purposely going for a B-movie vibe and you don't have title as Snakes on a Plane, go all the way and go with that route. I do enjoy the film. I like Samuel Jackson in the flick. The idea is crazy, but for me that's part of the charm. The gist of the story is one day this guy who's a surfer guy, he witnesses a murder. Sam Jackson works for the FBI, gets the witness, transport him from point A to point B to testify against this guy. And the bad guy's big plan is to sneak in a shitload of snakes onto the plane in the hopes of one of them biting the witness. And they put pheromones in, so all these different kinds of snakes go apeshit crazy. And I know it's a silly idea. It is. People go, well, wait a minute, how come you can enjoy this but not the films, for example, on Sci-Fi Channel? Because this film does seem, other than some of the CG snakes, the rest of it does seem as if it has an actual budget, look-wise, photography-wise. Sam Jackson, I do think he knows what kind of film he's in. He's having fun. Of course, the big line, I've had with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. I know it's a redundant thing to repeat that line, but it is the line people remember the most, and I think it worked well. It worked well in the theater. And when I saw the film in the theater, I didn't know much about the movie. I just went, oh, Sam Jackson, and okay, crazy. I enjoyed films like Anaconda and other B movies. Let me check this out. I thought for the kind of movie you're making, the director, which sadly the director passed away, he also did Final Destination 2, which is actually my favorite of the Final Destination movies. I think he also did the film Cellular, which I think is pretty underrated. I think his name is David Ellis. I could be wrong on that, but the guy knew what kind of film to make. Not all of them were successful, because I think he did Shark Night 3D, which, but for the most part, he knew what kind of movies they are. You know, hey, let's have the bad guy for some reason train in martial arts for one scene. Let's have, if we're going to be R-rated, let's have these states kill people in a variety of ways. So, yeah, hey, this couple, part of the Mile High Club, you get some titties in there. So you have the states attached on the nipple. One guy's trying to take a piss, it attaches to his dick. States attack people in the eyes. And then also Sam Jackson taking these snakes out, whether it be using this little flamethrower that takes snakes out, a little harpoon gun, using a taser before that. Again, it seems as if, hey, this is going to be a movie for a certain amount of running time. What do people want? What are we going to give them? We're going to give them Sam Jackson saying motherfucker, saying a line like that I mentioned before. If snakes don't kill people, they're going to bite in various ways. In the eye, in the titty, in the dick, in the ass, wherever. We don't get some titties in there. You don't get a little bit of blood, not too much. One person gets killed by, I don't know if it's a boa or anaconda, but he definitely gets swallowed as if he was one of the characters in Anaconda. So that was fun to see, in my honest opinion. Some of the other bits of dialogue I enjoyed, when Sam Jackson talking on the phone to the people on the ground. He's like, oh great, snakes on crack. Or, hey, what do we have to fight them? No silverware, just sports. And I thought it went at a good pace. The other side characters, Juliana Margulies, I believe, and the flight attendant, I thought she did fine. The guy who played the witness, he was fine. The guy who plays the rapper, someone calls him Howard Hughes, that raps, don't think you needed that guy. He just seemed very unlikable, and honestly, I think that character should have gotten killed off. At least he deserved it. And I didn't mind one of his bodyguards, played by Kenan Thompson from Kenan and Kel. He was in the movie Good Burger, among others. Again, I thought he did fine. I do think the problem they did with this movie is they purposely wanted a cult film. So they figured we're going to purposely make a cult film. And they don't realize that a film becomes a cult film naturally. You can't, well, I guess you can, but a lot of times it doesn't work out when you try to artificially create a cult film. So with the title and the marketing, and they hyped it up too much. They hyped it up too much, so then when people saw it, they went, but at the same time, what do you expect from a snakes on a plane movie? You got snakes, you got plane, you got Sam Jackson saying motherfucker, killing snakes, you got snakes killing a variety of people in grotesque ways. Maybe one aspect, the other characters could have played it a bit more seriously. The pilot, I forget the guy's name, but I've seen him in a bunch of other comedies, and he was a bit goofy. The girl with the little dog, the rapper who didn't want to touch anything, was germophobic. Maybe if these characters were a bit more serious or a bit more fine-tuned in the writing, would have made it a bit funnier. Like maybe if it was a bit more like Arachnophobia, which I do think is a better movie than this, and that's a movie dealing with spiders, not snakes, but like the humor in that, the way the characters were in that, although John Goodman is fairly silly, but even him seemed a bit more real than some of the supporting characters in this. And I think they sometimes were trying to play off a bit too tongue-in-cheek with the supporting characters, and in a weird way sometimes they could take away from the joke when you're winking a bit too much. Maybe that's what people had some problems with. For the most part, I was fine with it, but there's, again, certain points, like the guy who's the pilot, again, I forget the guy's name. I've seen it in a bunch of stuff. Just try a little bit too thick on the comedic. Especially the guy who's the rapper. I thought he was pretty awful. I did not give a shit about his character. Again, the CGI states were poorly done. I do think they could have used a lot more practical or animatronics or even just rubber, even puppetry. I think there's a lot more clever ways they could have done the snake action. Other faults, I could say that the witness, he does fine, if a little bit bland. Maybe you could have peppered that character up a bit, whether it be a different actor, who knows, maybe even a name actor that could play off against Sam, or a bit more of a personality. Maybe. With that said, I never really got to hate this film achieved as well. Like I said, even when I saw it in the theater, I enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're going to a film titled Snakes on a Plane, you ask yourself, what are you getting? What are you wanting? And I got what I wanted. I got a fast-paced film, Sam Jackson being badass, as well as saying motherfucker. Snakes doing ghastly things to people in a variety of ways, whether to their dick or their titty or attacking their eyeball. Sam Jackson fucked it up, like I said, with tasers, little flamethrowers or fire extinguishers. There's some gore in there, like when the people are going crazy, trying to get one place to another. One guy falls off a little staircase on the plane and gets impaled. One woman's running and sticks her heel accidentally in someone's ear. So the sad thing about this is, in a way, they did what the people for Sonic the Hedgehog did for Paramount. What I mean by that is they wanted to placate the potential fans and listen to people, listen to the viewers, the audience. Hey, do you want this PG-13 or R-rated? We want it R-rated. Okay, so they went back and did additional photography to film nudity and some pieces of blood and gore and things of that nature. Hey, do you want it titled Snakes on a Plane or Flight 393, whatever, some really lame, lousy title? No, that's a lousy title. Have it Snakes on a Plane. It says it all. Okay. Oh, it'd be cool if Sam said this line. Okay, when they went back, because originally there was going to be PG-13. When they went back, okay, we don't film stuff for an R rating, they threw in that line where Sam Jackson says that. I found out with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. And I'm going to open some fucking windows. Stuff like that makes the film work for me, but sadly, I think someone, after it came out, I don't know if it was a higher up or a critic who didn't like the film, they said, you know what, if this film was PG-13, it might have made a bit more money and successful. And I'm thinking, well, or not, and we just get a lesser, shittier movie. But it is whether you liked or disliked the film, it is kind of sad that, again, they did do stuff for the audience and the fans, well, the potential fans, and it kind of shot back in their face because the film did not do that well. definitely did not do as well as New Line Cinema hoped for. It quickly faded from the box office. To this day, not many people like the film. They call it piss poor or bad or unfunny, or, like I said, trying too hard to be a cult film when that stuff happens naturally. But it's an entertaining B movie. It has its flaws, but it's a quick and easy watch. A silly idea, but yeah, if you're going to do this kind of movie, I think they got a lot of it right. A good lead, fast pace, a decent enough budget so photography-wise it looks fairly decent. Some bits of gore, some bits of surprises, like what happens to the little dog. I think most of the acting was fine. I don't think there was that many actors that were outright terrible in it. And again, if it just fits the effects of the snakes, or use more practical, use some animatronics, even some puppetry work, lessen some of the supporting characters' comedic, make them a bit more real. Other than that, I think it's keep repeating myself, a decently fun B movie. Never hated it. It has its issues, but I never hated it. But either way, that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys in the next video. Later.